What's up, everybody? You're watching JoeBox TV, and I wanted to recap the Vasyl Lomachenko-Jose Pedraza fight. Now, Lomachenko came into this fight as a huge favorite, but you could tell that Jose Pedraza was not intimidated. From the opening bell, he came out circling the ring, pumping out that sharp jab, trying to use that 2-inch height advantage, and sometimes he would land the jab. Lomachenko was starting a little bit slower than usual. With that being said, I did see a little bit more of an aggressive demeanor. Even though Lomachenko wasn't as active as usually was, he was mostly sitting down on one big shot at a time, one big left hand at a time, and I think he landed enough of those big left hands to control the first few rounds for the most part. A lot of people on Twitter, a lot of ringside scorers actually had it even, or even had Pedraza winning after the first 3 or 4 rounds. But I do think people got caught up into the fact that Lomachenko wasn't as active, was relying on one big shot at a time, and Pedraza was doing better than expected. Even though Pedraza looked good, was circling the ring, light on his feet, and occasionally landing the jab, I don't think he was as effective as some were making him out to be. I believe round 5 was Pedraza's best round of the fight, from what I remember. He started to become more effective with that jab, and Lomachenko was kind of taking a round off. Pedraza landed some good body shots as well. But by the 6th round is when Lomachenko picked up the pace. From round 6 on, it was pretty much one-way traffic, as Lomachenko was in complete command, and he suddenly began to open up, throw more combinations, use that upper body movement, and we saw more of the pivots that we see every time Lomachenko's in the ring. I think the fact that Lomachenko started off slower than he usually does in the beginning, I don't think that means he was confused. It just seemed like he didn't really feel threatened by Pedraza. It seemed like Lomachenko just wanted to pick his spots. And he fought a lot more like a puncher last Saturday night against Pedraza than he usually does. Then in round 11, the A+ level Lomachenko that we all know of came to life, it seemed. He landed some vicious body shots that you could tell affected Pedraza, and he just suddenly began to swarm him with combinations. Lomachenko had Pedraza badly hurt in the 11th. Scored 2 knockdowns, but Pedraza got up and continued. He showed against Gervonta Davis that he's one tough son of a gun and that he's not going to go down easily. However, in the 12th round, it did look like he was kind of just looking to make it to the final bell, looking to survive. And Lomachenko cruised to an easy unanimous decision. I am happy to say that I was correct in my prediction, that I did pick a unanimous decision for Lomachenko, and as most people did. I don't want to take too much credit for that because, like I said, Lomachenko was a big favorite. Now, let's talk about the co-main event. Isaac Dogboe against Emmanuel Navarrete. Okay, I gotta eat crow here. I was hyping up Dogboe before this fight. He had shown throughout his young career that he was a dynamic puncher with speed and power, ran through pretty much everyone in his path, including former WBO junior featherweight champion Jesse Magdaleno. But I gotta say, I completely underestimated Emmanuel Navarrete, and Dogboe even admitted in his Instagram that he did underestimate Navarrete. It was a huge upset win, one that I didn't see coming. Most people had no idea who Emmanuel Navarrete was. He was 25-1 coming out of Mexico and hadn't yet faced anyone near the level of Dogboe. Ultimately, Navarrete was able to play spoiler and pull off the massive upset. He's now the new WBO Junior Featherweight World Champion. And let me give a brief recap of how the fight went down. Early rounds, Dogbay, it looked like he was a little bit too anxious to score a spectacular early knockout and put him away early. Dogbay landed some vicious body shots early, and I thought for sure that Navarrete was going to slow down later in the fight. But he kept up that movement all the way throughout. Tremendous stamina, and eventually Dogbay started to slow down, and Navarrete was catching him coming in with that left hook, or sometimes he would leap in and throw that big left hook and catch Dogbay flush. Navarrete's height advantage was a major factor. The counter-punching was excellent and precise, and even though Dogbay had his moments, he was largely outboxed, and by the end, towards the later rounds, Navarrete was really starting to punish Dogbay, and it looked like Dogbay might not make it to the end, but he did. Dogbay showed tremendous heart, but it was also a tremendous performance for Navarrete. Congratulations to him, the new WBO World Champion. And quickly, let's talk about the very first fight on the televised portion of the card. Teofimo Lopez just obliterating Mason Menard in one round. You could tell right from the opening bell that Lopez had him seemingly intimidated. This is a guy in Mason Menard who, despite being outclassed, was able to hang in there and put up a valiant effort against guys like Devin Haney or former world champion Raimundo Beltran. That wasn't really the case last Saturday night. Lopez went on the attack early, landed some shots that had Menard very discouraged. Within about 1 minute of the fight, I don't have the official time, but it didn't take long for Teofimo Lopez to land a massive right hand that just laid Menard out flat on his face. It was a brutal knockout, probably one of the best knockouts of 2018. And Teofimo Lopez moves on after a very impressive performance. It will be very interesting to see what the future holds for him. Finally, going back to the main event, Lomachenko and Pedraza, they both had one common opponent, Gervonta Davis. Jose Pedraza got stopped by Gervonta Davis, while Lomachenko won a decision. Now, what does that mean? What do I think that means? As I said, I just think that Lomachenko wanted to take his time, and when he stepped up in the later rounds, he almost put Pedraza away, but he did step on the gas a little bit too late if he wanted to score a knockout. So I don't think that means a whole lot. Lomachenko isn't a huge puncher by nature, despite him having very good power. He's not as big of a puncher as Gervonta Davis. However, I do see a lot of flaws with Gervonta Davis. Technical flaws. Don't get me wrong, Gervonta Davis is a phenomenal talent. Tremendous physical abilities, tremendous speed and power, deadly combination. But those assets, those physical assets, allow him to get away with technical flaws that he wouldn't otherwise get away with against guys like Lomachenko or even Jorge Linares potentially, or Mikey Garcia. I don't think Davis is quite there yet to beat someone like Lomachenko right now. If they fight right now, I think Lomachenko outpoints him, wins probably 8 rounds to 4, maybe survives the shaky moment to beat Davis. A couple years down the road, I might lean towards Gervonta Davis. So, what do you guys think? What were your thoughts on the card? And who would you pick between Vasyl Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis? Until next time, JoeBox TV, out!